Howdy, y'all. I've gotten a handful of questions about how intensely I stick to the threaded discussion rubric, and that's a very fair question. Even though y'all have seen this before in all your other MAE core courses, and if you haven't, let me know because we're all using it. Every professor facilitates a little differently, and you know what? That's fair. So let me start with I am a hardcore social constructivist. Philosophically, that really does inform my choices, my actions, the language I use. Okay, so with that said, my goals for the threaded discussions are that you engage meaningfully with your own cognition, your own affective values, as well as your behaviors and your peers. Because as a social constructivist, language is our greatest learning tool. It doesn't mean anything for you to lift from a book and just throw it out there. Doesn't mean anything. You have to truly be involved in the process of crafting understanding through manipulating language, negotiating meaning with peers to, well, this is parallel, no, those are antonyms, wait, I thought they were synonyms. Okay, so that's where I come from. Authentic engagement, not just post, I'm done, post, I'm done, but it's read, reflect, respond in a fashion where you're actually thinking through the writing. Okay, so frequency, 3 different days across the week. Initial post due by end of day Wednesday before you go to bed. So, okay, you're up late one night, you get it in at 2 o'clock in the morning on a Thursday. That's fine. It's the intent, right? Before you go to bed Wednesday, so that we can meaningfully engage in genuine dialogue throughout the rest of the week. So you can do more. You can always do more. But the minimum is 3 different posts, 3 different days. Okay. Now, this is crucial. In the first post, the student asks a question that demands critical thought. I've already been looking and I've seen a couple great questions, really great questions. Why, in your initial post, is this so important? Because the initial post is a starting place. This is not, back it up. Our threaded discussions are not about the prompt. The prompt is a starting place for all of us to then delve deeper into the areas within that topic that we're the most curious about, that we are the most in agreement with, disagreement with, whatever. Inquiry is your number one tool to authentically engaging in critical thought. If you forget to post your question, in my classes, you can edit your posts. You can always go back in and add your question. Until the board is closed, at the end of the week, you can always go back in and add if you forget. Or you can even do another post and say, hey, forgot my question on my first post, here it is. But guys, that question is not a throwaway. Okay? It's not, oh, I got to add a question. How many times a week should we do this? No. Think of it this way. You are asked across the week to engage 3 different days. You're busy, your peers are busy. Make those 3 posts worthy of your time and your peers. Okay? There's a responsibility there. Worthy of your time and attention and worthy of your peers. Please, no throwaways. That's not fair. It's not fair to yourself. It's not fair to your peers. So that's frequency. Initial prompt response. The learner's initial prompt is clearly focused on responding meaningfully and specifically to the forum's given topic. Okay, but then you wrap it up with a great question that takes it even further. Okay? Relevant facts. This one I got asked a lot about. 3 postings for the discussion includes different materials. You're obviously using whatever we're starting with, and at least 1 outside source, something. Why? Dewey. Education is not an escape from life. Education is a part of it. The more we can bring in the outside world meaningfully to our conversations, be it something you agree with, something you think is completely insane, something that brings up more questions for you, something that shows relevancy to what is going on out there. Again, it opens up the dialogue. It gives us another way of going, wait, I hadn't thought about that in conjunction with this. All right? Bring it together, bring it together, bring it all together. People have asked me about referencing. Here's why I strongly encourage you to cite and then have the correct reference at the bottom. You have writing in this class. You have a really important paper. Signature assignment. Really important paper. If I can see your APA in an informal setting, I can give you feedback now when there's, little pain. Just, oh, by the way, you're not doing the caps right. Or, by the way, you used the word and it should have been an ampersand. I can informally give you feedback on your APA, and it helps get you into the habit of doing it. So please, I will role model that as much as possible. I ask that you be mindful of that. Cite on your posts as best you can so I can give you that feedback and you become that much more comfortable with it. Okay. Quality of the posting, engagement in academic dialogue. No throwaways, guys. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your peers' time. Please identify your peers by name. Why? Again, I am a strong social constructivist. We are trying to build a community where we are able to communicate honestly and authentically. If you're going to disagree with someone, which I'm sure somewhere along the way you will, or wait, I read that same thing and I read something different, blah, blah, blah. You are empowered to be much more honest and genuine if you know who it is you're disagreeing with. I mean, that's human nature. When we don't know each other, when we haven't built community and we don't trust each other yet, it's a little uncomfortable to say, wait a minute, I disagree with that. Conversely, when you're on the other end, when you trust your peers, you know who they are, they've addressed you by name, so it's already a little more familial and friendly. When someone disagrees with you, it's not, excuse me, it's, oh, he has a different way of looking at this. Okay. So it's important. Please do identify the person you're responding to by name. Reflecting, responding meaningfully. Don't waste everybody's time. Oh, where's my two? Here it is. No 2-word responses. Those don't count. Those raise nothing but my blood pressure. Oh yeah, good idea. I agree. Really? I just wasted 10 seconds of my life. Give it back. Don't do that to anybody, okay? Now you can start with good idea, I agree, and then go deeper. All right? But if that's your whole post, really, please. Okay. Last one, hang in there. Elevating the dialogue. Again, for a social constructivist, this is where ZPD comes in. This is where things get really delicious and chewy and difficult. Your experience in these threaded discussions should not be looking for the one you can easily agree with. Don't just give me an anecdote that agrees with what's already been said, unless you're going to add more to it. What's the point? The point of engaging is to expand your understanding or to delve deeper into inquiry, critical thought, all those delicious higher order skills. Okay? I want to see question marks. Wow, that was a really interesting post. I thought something parallel, but wait a minute, here's another way to think about it. What about blah, blah, blah? Student comments consistently add significantly by asking questions, pointing out blah, 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 blah. Please take this one to heart. The more you use these threaded discussions to really drive the different conversation threads into areas that relate to your practice, or that pique your curiosity, or that get you riled up for whatever reason, the more this whole experience is going to empower you to see differently, act differently, think differently, feel differently. If all you're doing is looking for the opportunity to agree with something you already know or think or feel, well then, yeah, you'll think this is busy work, because for you, that's all it'll be. And I'm not being snarky, I'm being as honest as I can be. Don't waste your time, guys. Please, I only get you for 8 weeks. Take advantage of all that is offered to you. It's a mindset. Is this a burden that you just have to get through? Or is this an opportunity for you to drive the learning into an area that's going to be most personally meaningful and empowering? There you go. Okay. See you online.